This is chapter 5 from Filmmaking 101. The name is Cinematography, Painting It with Light. That is a metaphor for cinematography, as we have the metaphor for production, that is to translate the script to the screen. We have painting it with light. The book starts explaining what is cinematography. It says that is how the visual elements of the movie are framed, lighted, and recorded on film or video. And it says that it is a mystery because it's a combination of technicalities and creativity and art. Then it explains who is in charge of cinematography. As regards framing, the director and the cinematographer, or DP, agree on the composition of the frame, and the DP translates the director's visual interpretation of the script to the screen by lighting the image and capturing it. And the camera work is done by the camera operator. Some more details about lighting the image. There are two main functions about cinematography. One is to reflect the realism for location, unexpected source of light, otherwise you would have as a real film. And the other is set the mood of the scene, set the atmosphere, create the emotional subcontext we have said in another chapter. So we would say that lighting the image is to set the mood of the scene, but keeping realism for location and expected source of light. And it should support the emotional tone of the actors, talking about this setting the mood. There should be a balance between budget, schedules, creativity, and efficiency. And it is about equipment and setup. That would be what you use and where you put it. The setup to set the microphone or the lights. That is a useful verb. You must know about 3-point lighting, that in English is key light, fill light, and backlight. 3 useful concepts to remember in English too. The book goes on talking about the equipment related to lighting the image. It says that until the late 1990s, tungsten lights were very frequent. HMI lights, that are halogen metal iodide, were not frequently used because they were very expensive and energy consuming, but they were used when daylight was needed or there was a very large area to be lit. And color gels, this is a word useful to remember also. Color gels adjust the lighting hue and can be used for creative purposes or just for color correction, especially helpful at locations with fluorescent light fixtures that sometimes give a green tinge. From 2000 on, thanks to digital filmmaking, lighting fixtures started to be smaller and softer. You know that chimera in English is pronounced like character, CH without the ch, but k, yes? And fluorescent lights became indispensable instead of being a problem as they used to be, and of course LED lighting also. As regards capturing the image, until the late 1990s, you could capture image on 35 millimeters film, which was really expensive, costly, or on 60 millimeters. That was not taken seriously, was more considered teaching format because the quality was not that good. Sometimes you can see in films that they are shot on 16 millimeters, blown up to 35 millimeters. And today, thanks to HD video, you can get the same quality or more than what you used to have so costly with 35 millimeter films. The book tells you that HD is 4,000 lines of resolution, whereas a TV has 525 horizontal scan lines. Nowadays, resolution has gotten so high and hyper realistic. And well, digital cameras are getting smaller, cheaper, and able to record higher quality. DSLR, you must know this in Spanish. This is an abbreviation for digital single lens reflex. There are high quality still cameras with image sensor and lens capability, comparable to professional camcorders that are much more expensive. In summary, cinematography is about lighting the image and capturing the image. It is done by the DP or cinematographer that tells the camera operator, frames the image or composes the frame, translating the director's view in agreement with the director. As regards lighting the image, it has two functions, that is to set the mood of the scene while being realistic about the source of lights. And this is done by what you use and where you put it. That would be the equipment you use and where you set it up, the setup of that equipment. As regards capturing the image, we usually use HD now. It's worth remembering that we say 16 millimeters, 35 millimeters, and 16 millimeters blown up to 35 millimeters. That's all about cinematography, chapter 5 from Filmmaking 101.